Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Rogue Legacy 2. In today's video, we are playing as Lady Pepper. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I have a dog named Pepper. So whenever this character comes up, it always warms my heart a little bit. We are playing the Ranger for the first time since the game has fully released. The Ranger was a stunning class before. Absolutely brilliant. So if you've never seen it before, I'd be happy to show it off today. We also have the Spelunker trait. It's going to lower our maximum HP a little bit, but in return, we can see all of the chests on the map, which is quite a big benefit. I've made my way around and talked to most people here at the dock. You should make sure that you're doing the same, especially these guys in here. You want to make sure you're talking to them whenever there are dots above their head. If you talk to everyone that has the dots, eventually you'll get a special currency along your playthrough. I have only experienced that one time, so I'm trying to be very diligent about making sure I talk to everyone. This house in particular is pretty interesting. It allows you to get some hidden stuff, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to have a video in the future focused on that. So, run number 2. If you missed our first episode, we cleared everything. It was actually brilliant. We did excellent. There is a rune here that I would definitely like to acquire sooner than later. So the ultimate goal for this run is to make 800 gold and then some change. I think we'll be able to do that, no problem. I don't think that'll be any issue for us whatsoever. So, as I was saying, the Ranger is a phenomenal class in this game. It allows you to, okay, well, there is one benefit to the Ranger. It allows you to unlock this scar. The scar system is what that guy in that room is all about. And I was going to skip this, but considering we're playing the class that gets easy access to this, I might as well do it while I'm here. So this is Gregory's memory. Lamech's protege is dangerous. He will soon surpass his teacher. That type of power cannot be trusted. Z convinced him to join our cause, but Jay is still Citadel born, still a master's lapdog. He turned once and he will turn again. So that unlocks like a bonus challenge that we can do in that room that I was running around at the start. We also see our friend here who we've run into a couple times in our first run, in like 3 different places in our first run, looking at the golden door that will not open for us. So you're next in line to sign the contract. Everything in the name of duty, I presume. Never stop to think of what you might be losing. Well, if you're looking for treasure, you'll have to find the king's children first. Can't get through these doors otherwise. I've tried. Very well, we can do that. So our character is able to see where all of the chests on the entire map are. And as you can see, there's quite a few. However, it doesn't show us how to get to all of these rooms. So we are going to have to do a little bit of exploration on our own to uncover everything. The Ranger has a bow that they can use to shoot at their enemies. If you hold down the attack for long enough, you will see a spark at the front of the arrow. If you release the arrow right when it sparks, you get a guaranteed critical hit, which is absolutely devastating. It could do so much damage. The black roots keep growing. They're everywhere now. The guards continuously cut them down, but they keep growing back. I swear the land is reacting to our pain. The more people we lose, the thicker the black root seems to grow. Sorry, I've been missing our meetings at the Golden Doors. The estuaries demand the impossible. They raise our work hours and tax us incessantly, and when people complain, they are arrested. So many friends are gone. Jay, you have no idea what it's like over here. The kingdom has become a powder keg, just waiting to explode, and it's our job to light it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, Jay. We can do something. We can save everyone. Signed, Z. The Ranger is a character I usually have pretty successful runs on, just because how safe their damage actually is. We also have the Tesla coil ability. If we shoot that into a wall, it is going to spark damage just like that. Even though we're not playing a mage, it's still important to weave some spells in every now and then. What you see right now is the Ranger's class ability. They're able to make a platform in which they can stand on and fire down shots from this platform. It's actually crazy strong. It's one of the better class abilities. One really unique aspect of it is that it actually gives you poison on your attacks if you are able to attack while standing on that platform. So it allows you to get even more extra damage for really doing nothing different at all, just playing your class on a platform that you made. There are 3 chests above me here, but as you can see with our layout, we cannot reach these from this direction. We're going to have to find another way around. So let's make our way down and to the right. We already cleared out this room, but let's start moving in. So last episode, we killed the first boss of the game, and you may be wondering, well, what do you do now? You're back in the same zone, killing the same enemies. How is this different? Well, zone 1 of the castle is, within some limitations, always going to have the same enemy type, and you'll get used to fighting them over and over. The layout, however, is going to be completely different every time you enter the castle, unless you use a specific mechanic to lock it down. So yes, we have cleared through this area before, but not really. Since we came through here, all of the walls have shifted. However, the first boss will not respawn. He is dead. So we need to make our way to the second zone of the game. That is always located on the most eastern side of this zone. So all we need to do is travel to the right, and eventually we should stumble across it. Its exact location changes every run, but it's always to the right somewhere. Anyway, moving to the left, we find another chest tucked into the corner. Normally, I wouldn't spend my time trying to clear chests out in an area that I've already pushed through. So very rarely would I actually come back to Act 1 to do this. However, you have to unlock a teleporter. I guess you have the opportunity to unlock a teleporter to kind of skip over areas in the near future. If today's run goes well, and I'm kind of thinking it will, I'll be able to show you exactly where that is. So if you're not interested in clearing through the main castle over and over, we can find ways around that. There is, however, a benefit to me going through all of this today because we have that great Spelunker trait, which is showing us everything. Wow, look at the light coming through this room. This looks very different. It looks good. It kind of makes me suspicious of the ground underneath me, but I'm not seeing any cracks here. Yeah, I'm almost certain this isn't one. Sometimes you'll notice those sneaky little secret doors hidden in the wall, but I don't think that was one of those. One nice thing about the Ranger's platform too, I can't really show it because of the way these guys are positioned, but it actually eats projectiles, as you may have seen there. So we can use it to actually keep ourselves safe, tucked away in a corner versus mages. The platform has a lot of really great utility. Ooh, we stumbled across a challenge room. Destroy all targets with a time limit of 10 seconds. Oh, okay, I gotta wait for this platform to come back. That's gonna be hard without the platform. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna plant my butt right in the middle and use the poison AoE from the platform to hopefully finish off all the... Oh, no. Oh, no, not getting that. Not even close. I actually thought that was going to go a lot better, actually. This enemy has a new icon that we haven't seen yet. This is an armor shred. So if this guy deals damage to me because he's an elite, he has that bonus affix, we actually lose some of our maximum armor. Inside of that chest, we find the leather chest, a beautiful piece of weathered leather. And of course, this is... or these are, I guess I should say, there's multiple. These are the chests that we saw above our starting room when we first entered the castle. So we didn't get here right away. We had to find the way around, but ultimately we were successful. Inside the Room of Lights, we find the Scholar's Cape, a simple outfit worn by the Alkalites up in the study. I've been clearing out a lot of the castle. We have a little ways to go to get to the next zone. I can already kind of tell where it is just on the characteristics of the chest. But I wanted this video to mostly be focused in that zone and not the one we've already cleared. Ooh, this should be a good opportunity to use our ranger class ability. This is a puzzle where you have to avoid the fireballs on the way down, but we can kind of cheese it by putting our platform here to absorb those attacks and just sneak down and get these chests. We have the leather weapon, which should be an upgrade on the weapon that we're currently using, and then some gold in the next chest. Now, this is different, and this is why you might actually want to run through the starting castle. You look at the top left, you'll see that I'm level 16, and that fiery number to the right of that says 200%. That's my resolve. If I pick up these artifacts, I will lose some of my resolve. If this goes under 100%, I'm going to start to lose HP. So we have that big buffer right now. Now, these items might be good for us. They may not be. But because we've never picked them up before, we don't know right now. We might be messing up our character. Power to the pious, or liquefied red aether given to those whom the estuaries deemed worthy. I'm gonna go with the Zealot's Ring for 25 resolve. Hopefully we don't hate this. Spell cast while at max MP, deal an additional 20% damage. Beautiful. No problem with that whatsoever. And in the other heirloom rune, we see some more artifacts. Skeleton key. Every door is a window. Every chest is a reward. For 35 resolve, we could pick up this key, which allows us to open a fairy chest that we failed to open previously. Or the grave bell. More in the dead, not the living. I don't know what that does. I know what this key does. And there's a room we can use it in if we double back. So even though I lost the challenge, I'm still a winner. And the reinforced rune can be pretty good, especially later on. So I have full cleared the starting castle, gathered every chest here, and now it's time to progress into the unknown. We're heading into Axis Mundi, the second zone of the game. Right at the start, there is a secret area you can access by jumping on those lights. I do not remember what's at the top of this. I feel like I say that every time I'm here. Looks like it's a little lower. The stairwell collapsed. No way to get up there. The wretched black roots were probably the cause. Must have wormed their way into the cracks. There is a lot of roots here, that's for sure. Now we can pogo off of the side of these things to gain altitude, like you've seen me doing. I believe there's also something hidden. Yeah, that's it. This is an heirloom challenge on the sides, but more lore first. Jay, the last cave-in buried the heirloom. The good news is that the heirloom is still intact. Those things are sturdy. We've been trying to dig it out, but the tower's barely in one piece. If it moves too much, I fear the whole tower will collapse. If that happens, we'll bury the only entrance into Agratha. There's nothing else we can do. We have to leave it. Sorry, Jay. Well, that's the heirloom to our left. We could pogo off the roots on the right side, but instead let's use our class ability to skip a little bit of that. Now, if we open up those gates and fall down the left side, we could take on the heirloom challenge. Hey, buddy! You want to take on my challenge, right? Right? Come on, you've got to take on the challenge, man. I've been stuck up here for so long, like you have no idea. Just try it once. What's the worst that could happen? It's so easy. Buddy, listen, if you win, I promise you the power of resonance. It'll totally be worth it. Full stop, no joke. You have no idea how worth it is. So come on, let's get going. Yes, I'll enter the heirloom challenge. Is this one very hard? You have spin kicks that have been upgraded to echo kicks. So what we've been using to jump on these lanterns has now evolved into something that lets us jump off of these pedestals. And it allows us to scale an area quite effectively. If we continue to go to the right, you'll notice that these spin kicks now reset our dash, so we can travel further than we were able to do previously. And if... Oh, I see. I have to dash first, then jump up, then take the teleporter to reset my dash so I can go off that one. These are fun little puzzles. I've always really enjoyed these. Getting to the end should be no problem. Yes, indeed. Luckily for me, I'm a ranger, so I don't have to do any of this, but let me show you what you would need to do. Just hit a target and dash to the other side. No problem at all. Now traveling into the next room, we can once again take advantage of the fact that we are indeed a ranger. Now this is our first resonating enemy. This is a slug. In order to defeat these slugs or these willows, we have to use our jumping attack on them. Otherwise, they are totally immune to damage. Now this looks a little sketchy. We have a red spirit underneath us that's going to be shooting a projectile, but we can also use these projectiles to gain more altitude as well. Or, whoop. Oh, wow. I see what you have to do. So boom, teleport, and then kick off of those again. That's so cool. I like that one a lot. Even though I never remember it. Even though we forget every one of these challenges the moment we're done. Oh, yeah, buddy, you did it. Thanks for getting me out of here. Now let's start kicking stuff and have ourselves a party. Nice. Nice. So, in order to access this zone, you have to do that little puzzle. Oh, look at that. Some food as we enter as well. Also, a little lore in this room. Attention, Gregory. The bridge has fallen to the shift, just like everything else. And with sections of the bridge constantly switching places, the estuaries have deemed it too dangerous to ship supplies to the outlying villages. The people won't make it to the next harvest if we don't help. Therefore, I want you to make a call for volunteers. We shall lead the shipments ourselves if we must, but in order to cross, you will need an heirloom contained in the gatehouse tower. The entrance is directly above the gates to the citadel. The entrance is caved in, but perhaps you can find another way in on the floors above. This is, of course, talking about the challenge that we just completed. And look at that, right as you enter, we have to use these new pedestals to enter our new zone. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. I'm not quite sure how it's going to edit down. I wanted to go get all of those chests in the beginning because Spelunker is kind of rare and really valuable when you get it. But, I mean, we cleared that zone last time, you know what I mean? I wanted to keep moving as much as we could. Tried to make a platform there, didn't quite work out, and because I hit the ground or hit the water, I have to do that whole trip over again, don't you know? This zone is actually really forgiving with verticality. If you have double jump, if you have ways of maneuvering around the map, you can actually skip a lot of these buildings if that's something that interests you. You may also notice that the mages here are a little different, draped in yellow robes this time. These are actually lightning mages that we're going up against, and these blue lamps send out seekers, which will try to follow us and deal damage to us. So we have some new mechanics coming into play. We also have new pressure plate traps, these fish that I hate going up against. Man, I have such a hard time with the fish. These guys are actually pretty grouped up. Maybe we can hit them with a spell. Another lightning mage pushing forward as well. There's the crit, and it is good. Now, the enemies here are a little more complex with their abilities compared to the starting castle, but it's not that big of a jump. I usually think the third zone is where the heat really starts to go up a lot. We do have a room inside and some lore to read. It's worse than I imagined. The shops, the houses, the fallout of war is all that dwells in them now. We don't have enough hands to cart supplies. Most of the soldiers are so exhausted from dredging the lake that they can barely stand. I know I'm pushing them past their limits, but there is no time to rest. If the lake becomes poisoned, well, that would be the final nail in our coffin. And, you know, the lake looks okay, right? Right, guys? I'm sure that didn't happen. I'm sure The lake is fine. This cannon minion, you could actually stand right on top of these and do attacks straight down. They look a little... Whoa, this is different. Whoa, what's going on here? Or is it just showing that you can enter from any of those points? I see. So that's a little different. But I don't think it actually changes anything. Oh, you know what is different? This place is broken up into 4 sections now. This used to be 2 really long sections, but now for whatever reason they turned it into 4. Let's do a platform here to eat some of these projectiles. I'm going to try to send some poison raining down on these guys below, and if we do it right, that AoE damage should spread out quite well. Now underneath us, there is one of those red spirits, but we could just put it right to sleep. There we go. That's the dash we needed. Oh, we're heading back inside here, and there's a lot of red areas. We're gonna need to be very careful. Attack and dash, so we can go over to this door. Now we're a little more free with what attacks we can do. However, what are these guys keeping in here? We find the scholar's weapon tucked away in a chest at the top of the building. Moving to the right, we see some positive signs on the mini-map. We have some wings here, which means there's a secret room. In order to get into it, I guess we could just jump on that platform. The game is trying to teach us that some of these projectiles are resonating. For instance, these arrows or the top of this trap can actually be bounced on to access higher places if you need to use that. We didn't really need to use that there. Looking beneath us, we see some minions here. Whoa, just out of range of that explosion. That was close. I genuinely do have a hard time with these fish. That's not being sarcastic. I know they look like they're just hopping around not doing anything. But can you spot the secret in this room? I can. Now, where does the secret lead? Oh, to a fairy chest. We find the Retaliation Rune. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. That rune allows you to deal damage back to enemies if you take damage, which can be pretty nifty. I've always said it. I've said it so many times now here on YouTube, and I've never done it. I've always wanted to make a retaliation-focused knight that could really, like, just go full defensive and just block stuff and just return damage that way. I think it'd be super fun. An eyeball firing off some projectiles at us. We lock him down, no problem. The fish is moving up, but jumps down to the low ground. And we see a chest underneath us and a chest behind this door. Both of them are things that I want, but let's take out this enemy first. Glad I'm not in that zone. That's good. Oh, as a ranger. Oh, I thought that was a platform. As a ranger, we potentially... Oh, come on. There we go. Could just shoot the door open, walk in, grab the chest, walk out. Normally, you would have to find a way to pacify that thing before you get in. Next, the chest to the left. Oh, notice the fish is alive in the water. We need to get him out of there. Shit. Oh, this is a problem. If I shoot, I'm getting shot in the back, and he currently is out of my range. We might have to change our plan. No, we might be good. Fuck! Okay, put it back to sleep. Put it back to sleep. Instead of using the door, we're just gonna make a platform. Okay, and then we have to get back before that goes away. Perfect. What you're supposed to do there is a downward attack on that door and use it to get up top. Now, this is a huge upgrade for our entire account. If you're just watching this on a second monitor, look over. You need to see this. This is Pizza Mundi. One of the most important things you can do is talk to the pizza girl. Hey there, stranger. Didn't think I'd meet anyone this far out, but I'm sure glad you showed up. My name's Maria, by the way. I was heading to the Sun Tower when the shift happened, and some monsters teleported right beside me. So I ran back here into my pizza shop and decided to lay low until they left, or until someone got rid of them. Thanks for that, by the way. Anyway, I could tell from your get-up that you're not from around here. Just a wild guess. But you're from above, right? Trying to open that giant gold door? Don't worry, I won't pry. Just saying that I might be able to help. If you ever get the chance, come meet me at one of the teleporters. Maybe we can work together. Thanks again for the save, but I better get going. I'd like to study the teleporters while I have the chance. Delivering pizzas is tough. Delivering pizza in an ever-changing world is even tougher. The pizza girl will now help you on your journey. Spoilers, it has nothing to do with pizza. Indeed, it does not. Above us is the entrance to the Sun Tower, a very difficult zone in this game. He says nothing and just looks up. If we enter the Sun Tower and try to clear this zone, we are very likely to meet a very quick death. And we really don't even have access to this place yet because we can't traverse through that barrier. But Maria here can help us out in a big way. Hey again, stranger. So you're interested in hearing my proposal? How exciting. I was afraid you'd ghost me. Your lack of response and facial expressions make you quite hard to read. First, let me do a proper introduction. Name's Maria. Pizza delivery girl by day, amateur geologist by night. Don't let my job title fool you. Delivering food isn't easy when everything keeps shifting. One wrong step and you could end up being the toppings. But I'm different. I can feel the shift. I can tell when things have moved and where they will end up. And that's how you and I can work together. See this portal? It's bound to the other portals via currents. Once a portal is activated, you can keep going back to it. But if a shift occurs, that connection is lost. I've been studying these portals and using them for deliveries for a while now, so I've grown pretty attuned to the currents. And if you give me enough resources, I can unlock these portals for you permanently. What's in it for me? You didn't ask? Well, if I could keep these portals open, then I could start helping others who are stuck because of them. Not everyone can cross these treacherous regions on their own, so having these portals would be a literal lifesaver. So what do you say? You get to traverse the world more easily, and I get to help people in need. 1,750 gold is a lot to ask. Especially when we've cleared 2 zones and she just took over half of what we have made. It's important to remember that we set the expectation of only getting 800 gold this run, and this upgrade will help us for quite some time. Because now, when we start our run, I am able to teleport directly to this red zone, which is the halfway point for Axis Mundi, and avoid pushing through the entirety of the castle over here. We just unlocked the express lane to progression, but the job is not done. The other half of Axis Mundi still stands in our way, and we need to push in. This zone is the longest in the game, so I'm not surprised that it's taken us a little bit of time to get through. Let's make a platform above this turret here. That explosive damage should finish it off, but it still managed to fire off 1 projectile before it died. There is a room in here. These are always worth checking out. These could have something that we can use our resolve on to make the boss easier. And indeed it does. The obelisk. Provide providence, or a new item, red sand hourglass. Time treats some better than others. I don't know what this does, but for 25 resolve, I'll find out. Every 5 seconds, your next weapon attack deals 75% bonus damage. The timer is reset if you take damage. That is actually so incredibly good for rangers because we're not trying to rapid fire out shots in most cases. What we're normally doing is waiting for that sweet critical hit spot to show up and then we fire it off. Now, taking damage there from those roots was enough to reset that. That's worth mentioning. Oh, and that, oh, the spikes are bad. Spikes are bad. Let's see if we can get a lightning bolt on this fish. Indeed, we can. It jumped up, almost taking damage from the spikes. There is a chest to our left. What you're supposed to do is a jumping attack off of that pedestal and then catch yourself with a dash really fast. But once again, we're a ranger, so I'll just take the damage anyway. Inside of the chest, we find the leather cape. We have most of the leather set at our disposal now. if we wanted to go back and try to craft that. This enemy that's approaching us is an elite. He has an affix that protects him from 4 points of damage. Ooh, didn't see him spawning that on me at a time. We could rip through that shield a little bit faster if we started with our spell, but as you can see, that elite is quite tanky. Now, our character seems to be running a little low on HP right now. Maybe getting to the boss is a little out of the question, but we can at least try to make it a bit further. Silver chest underneath us could have some pretty big resources in it. Skeleton at the end of the platform, we knock him down. We're gonna have to deal with this problem now. Let's spawn that electricity on him. Beautiful. This is a rather difficult puzzle sometimes, but we managed to make it across, and we find the scholar helmet. Ooh, I need to cut back for the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. 36 HP and a dream. We may be getting to the end of this run, but like I said, we unlocked that teleporter, which is huge for our overall progression. Okay. Ooh, nice double kill there with a single arrow. I feel like Robin Hood all of a sudden. I was hoping for a little bit of food from one of these boxes, but we are never lucky in the food department. Great damage. Even works on critical hits. That's wonderful. Ranger platform does protect us from those arrows being shot out from that trap. Platform is on cooldown currently. All right, I'm gonna try to play as best as I can here. Not that that's not always the goal, but there's some cheesy little things we can do, like kill those enemies through walls to maybe gain a little bit of time. Okay, we have shadowy goop traveling through the wall. Oh, the fish! I told you, it's always the fish. Hey, but very nicely done. One of the upgrades we bought at the end of the last video allows us to generate XP for each character. So as I'm ranking up this ranger, my entire account is getting more strength. So my physical attacks will deal more damage. And you're seeing the recap of the castle that we went through. Most of that's going to be cut out because it was just easy farming. We made it halfway through Axis Mundi, unlocked the teleporter. And with that, Lady Pepper has been laid to oh, a pizza night. Ooh, a pizza night with boxing gloves. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird, my dude. I think I'd rather go with a regular night. Oh, God. The two on the left have some really difficult traits. Let's go with the one on the right. Some synesthesias. That's fine. We could deal with that. And we're also going to re-roll as a... I don't know. Do I want to do a mage? Before we re-roll anything, let me come out here, and I actually want to buy the leather equipment as much as I can. Didn't mean to buy that scholar stuff. That kind of sucks. But notice what just happened. I bought this leather piece, but I cannot equip it. And the reason I cannot equip it is because our weight limit hasn't been increased yet. So we actually need 2 more levels. So I'm going to buy the Barbarian. Don't let their bulky bodies and low IQ fool you. Barbarians are some of the most agile warriors in the kingdom. One of my favorite classes. I'm going to buy that, switch our character over to a Barbarian, so that'll be the focus of our next run. I'm also going to purchase... Oh, they're both kind of expensive. Oh, you know what? By doing all of this, I can't buy that rune I wanted to buy. That's okay. That's okay. We'll buy meditation studies. This will give us a little bit of HP back when we go to fight a boss. And with the rest of our money, we will buy the fashion chambers. This will increase the weight limit of the gear that we're able to use, and thus allow us to also equip the leather chest. Oh, actually not. We're still a little too heavy. Still a little too heavy, but that's okay. We actually did get the unity bonus for leather. You can see that on the right-hand side of the screen. That unity bonus is going to give us bonus resolve, so we can mess around with those artifacts, those relics a little bit more. So that's going to do it for today's episode, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again soon with a look at the Barbarian.